Were you? In fact, if I recall rightly, I stood here and had a little go at tipping myself, and I'm sure I said Dave Prinz was a bit of value at that 11-1, didn't I?
I'm not so sure you were right and I was wrong.
Can we actually get that clip? Because I think it's time to just rub Glenn's... We can actually get the clip, so I'm going to show you that now. The one that draws my eye is the 11-1 on Dave Prinz at the bottom.
No, it doesn't for me. Davey's on the back of a break from darts. He is back playing regular again.
Dismissed out of hand by Glenn Durrant there. In fact, Glenn, I think what we should probably do is swap places. You can present and I'll be the pundit, because I'm obviously doing a better job than you, right? Let's actually do that. We know this at the Super Series.
That sounds a plan.
Presenter stands there, pundit here. Right, Glenn. Bet builder next. So are you going to ask me about that?
Yeah, the bet builder. Let's have a little look at what the people have been suggesting for tonight. What's your thoughts on that, Chris?
Right, well, just like every other pundit that ever comes here to the Super Series, it would just be a total guess. But I'm going to say, look, it's a decent enough bet builder. Over 5.5 legs in Taylor against Prinz in the first match. 2.5 180s more than Collins against Dennett. Yeah, can see that coming in. And the legs handicap Taylor minus 1.5, 6.37 to 1. I think that's a bit of value. But now you've got to do the bit where you say gamble responsibly, be gamble aware, and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, if you're gonna bet, remember 18 plus, be gamble aware. .org.
Right.
It's quite hard than it looks, isn't it?
Davey required
So Prinz
101.
leaving himself 101 after 9 to level proceedings up at 1 apiece. Single 1 or single 9? Single 1 for Tops.
Game
Tops
shot on
is
the
found.
second
Route
low.
101 for Dave Prinz to level up at 1-1.
Yeah.
Scott, you require 81.
Talent-wise, he's up there. And I've played him on a Pro Tour.
Do I ask the result? Double 13 for Taylor. For the break
Game
of
shot
throw
on
and a
the
3-1
fourth
lead.
lane. Scott Taylor.
He's eking closer to 8 points. And that first dart is so succulent for Scott.
180.
Yeah, I think we both nodded our head with appreciation of the first dart. Henry called him an FDM earlier, first dart merchant. Once again, deep in concentration. He won't want to let this one go.
77.
And he's got at
Scott, you
least
require
6 darts
84.
at 84. Double 12. The snarl is back. And in the end, it was a
Game,
comfortable win
shot,
for Scott
and the
Taylor.
match.
There was
Scott
missed
Taylor.
opportunities along the way, but he's all about the 2 points, and he's the first player now to reach that 8 mark. For Dave Prinz, still plenty to work on. He's right in the mix. He won't get his head down too far, but Scott Taylor feels on the march and is dipping his toe. Qualification as the second game is up next. It's Matty Dennant against Denny Alder Coulter.
0-2. Treble 14 or bull, he's got options. He's decided to stay there on the treble 20 bed. And so that means now it's going to be a dart at double 11 for a 3-1 lead.
Game
and a
shot
3-1
on the
it
fourth
is of a
lane.
ton topper
Denny
for Alder
Coulter.
Coulter to put himself on the cusp.
Yeah.
Denny, you require 40.
No more messing about, Denny. And the
Game,
losing streak
shot,
is over, and he
and the
puts
match.
himself in
Denny
a
Alder
fantastic
Coulter.
position. He's right in the mix for qualification from this very tough and very tight Group B. For Matty Dennant, that was the kind of game that would disappoint him. He's got such a high ceiling, and to see him average 78.44 will disappoint. But Denny Alder Coulter, solid throughout, 102 checkout being the big highlight, but the 2 points for the Dutchman. And next up, it's the return of Dave Prinz against Rob Collins. I can see the tension in Davy Prinz, and Rob should be all over this.
My
My favourite term, isn't it? It's feast or famine right now. His last 12 darts, 100, 140, 49 and 180. Rob Collins is finding his mark, and he's a dart away from a 3-1 lead. Real disaster this for Dave Prinz.
100.
Just
Robbie
keeps
required
him
32.
interested.
Keeps him an interested party.
Game
But
shot
for no
on the fourth
longer,
lane.
Collins is a
Rob
leg away.
Collins.
Just the one treble 20 needed to give himself a shot at the bull, or another one of them. It is the bullseye.
105.
Just not to be.
Robbie require 8.
And Rob Collins might not be Rob Cross, but this would be for an electric start. And
Game,
it's job
shot,
done for
and the
Collins.
match, Rob
It's a really
Collins.
disappointing start for Dave Prince tonight. He's played 2 and lost 2, and he's got some thinking to do, and he really needs to get his game up and going. He won't be on for a while now, so he's got time to prepare, but Rob Collins just moves into that little bit of a group and gives himself an opportunity. And next up, it's a very big game for Scott Taylor, because if he wins the next one, he has qualified, and he is up against Denny Alder Coulter.
In 8 legs of darts. Alder Coulter looking to step in on double 14.
Game shot on the
And
second
step in he
leg.
does
Denny
to
Alder Coulter.
Get the break and to lead 2-0.
Game over.
Denny requires 74.
Could well be, because Alder Coulter 74 points away from the victory points. It's double
Game,
16 to
shot,
seal a
and the
4-0
match,
success for
Denny
Denny Alder
Alder
Coulter.
Coulter.
And Scott Taylor is going to have to wait for his ceremonial progression through to finals night, if it is to be the case. Denny Alder Coulter getting over the line by 4 legs to 0. A convincing win for Denny against Scott. And coming up after the break, well, this group is going to bunch up regardless of the result of this one, as Rob Collins takes on Matt Denon.
Require
no races, is he?
126.
It's just not quite happened for him. It's been one of those nights, as we like to call it.
Double 18. That
Game
is
shot on the third
sensational.
leg. Rob Collins.
Absolutely beautiful from the first dart. Just indicated to me that he was just laying up the one. Denon's playing right now. Make it 2-2.
Game shot on the fourth
I was
leg.
about to say I didn't
Matt
have an awful lot
Denons.
of confidence the way Matt Denon's playing, but that's the kind of player that he is. The ups and the downs this week has been
Fifth leg. It's
so
Rob to throw
incredible.
first. Game on.
can't afford to miss again. And
Game
doesn't.
shot on the fifth leg. Rob Collins.
That's a snarl. That's a growl.
Sixth leg. It's Matt to throw
And
first.
he knows where the
Game
camera
on.
is.
He knows the importance of it. 90 left. Can't be done.
55.
Get ready for the roar.
Robbie require 40.
This is for the match.
Game
And
shot.
tots for
and the
Collins,
match,
and you can
Rob
see the
Collins.
raw sheer relief pour from the face of the man of steel as he gets the better of Matt Denon by 4 legs to 2, doing so with an average of 92, 4 out of 9 when it came to the finishing. A 1-2-6, the highlight checkout as far as the man of steel from Bognor Regis is concerned. So victory for him by 4 legs to 2 means that he moves on to 6 points. He's actually leapfrogged Dave Prince, who's now out of a qualification space. It is all to play for, and Denny Alder Coulter can put himself in a comfortable position if he can beat Prince after this short break.
Hasn't been spectacular. Proper match play. A little bit of tension, a little bit of panic. And you can see how much it means to him. He's feeling it. Now it's about bottle. He gets
Game
there
shot
in the
and
end.
the match. Denny Alder
Ultimately,
Coulter.
it's about the 2 points. Denny Alder Coulter wins against Dave Prince 4-2. It wasn't spectacular. He won't remember it, but the importance of that game could be huge in qualification for the Dutchman. For Dave Prince, it's 3 losses out of 3, and he will be gutted. For Denny Alder Coulter, he continues to motor on and joins Scott Taylor at the top. Scott Taylor is actually up next against the man of the moment, Rob Collins.
Collins is back for 71 to take the opening leg, and he's going to get 2 in his hand at double 10 to do exactly that.
Game shot
In
on
it
the
goes,
first leg.
15 dart hole for Rob Collins to get up and running. He leads 1-0.
This is pressure of the highest degree. He's only going to get 1 dart. 1 dart at tops to save his bacon, you feel. And it's not to
27.
be. And you can see exactly what he feels about that.
Robbie require
He
40.
sinks to his knees, and he may well be sinking to the floor He may be sunk
Game,
by Collins as he
shots,
finds
and
the
the
top
match.
to complete the
Rob
job.
Collins.
And now Scott Taylor's the man waiting in darting purgatory because now he slips two beneath the canvas.
Matt, you require 62.
And really, from absolute nowhere, he hasn't been at his brilliant best. But it's
Game,
4-1 to
shots,
Dennant.
and the match.
And it's
Matt
goodbye to
Dennant.
Dave Prince. It was a fantastic day yesterday for Dave Prince. He really rolled back the years, and it was fantastic to see the legend of North East Darts. But that's all we'll be seeing him in this Group B campaign. Matty Dennant gives himself an opportunity with that victory over Prince, and another brilliant game coming. The qualified Denny Aldercoulter against Rob Collins, who's on a march.
Game shot on the first
And
leg.
it's your night.
Rob Collins.
Double six. Every moment is absolutely pivotal. Double three. Doesn't
Six.
go. And the look on his face says everything. That could well be the last dart Rob Collins throws this week.
Denny, you require 8.
Yeah, for the first time, tension-riddled Rob Collins is how them three darts are thrown. Has he thrown it away? For Denny Aldercoulter, he's already going to be there on Saturday
shots,
night
and the match.
cements that
Denny
with a victory over a
Aldercoulter.
very, very disappointed Rob Collins. We are going down to the final game of Group B, the final game of the week. And wow, what a game it's going to be. It's Scott Taylor against Matt Dennant, and so much to play for many. Game on. Can I answer that second leg? 'Cause I think it's a very important point. But Taylor, 2 darts at tops.
Game shot on the first leg. Scott Taylor.
I'm thinking that was more what he was sarcastically lifting his arms about.
180.
But in answer to your question there, the only parallel I can give, the only sort of analysis I can give to you there, if Daryl's been reading every message he's received,
96.
as we look at a potential, 6 out of 6.
180.
We've seen 1 dart, 9 darter this week. Are we about to see something very, very special?
140. Scott, you require
Scott Taylor is on the
141.
receiving end of it against Darryl Pilgrim. Is he going to do it himself? He misses dart number 8 at treble 19.
We were both on our feet here in the comms box. We just both felt something special was really happening there.
139. Scott, you require 51.
His tops
Game shot on the
is
second
2-0.
leg. Scott Taylor.
Averaging 115.62. But the chance
Scott,
has
you
come and
require
gone.
2.
Taylor, 1 up, 1
Game,
in
shots,
to send
and the
Rob
match.
Collins
Scott
in to tomorrow
Taylor.
night's final and to dump Dennant out the tournament. Scott Taylor's through. He's a 4-1 victor, doing so in the end with an average of 97.3, but it was touching the teens for a large portion of that. 4 out of 11 on the doubles. It is Scott Taylor who sends Rob Collins through. Matt Dennant departs the scene. Scott Taylor 4, Matt Dennant 1 is the result from our final game of the evening.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yeah, it's twice in a row that, isn't it? Scott Taylor has produced his performance of the night in the last match of the night.
If he gets to the final tomorrow night, you know what that means. But yeah, he was really good. He, once again, just shows his class when he needed to.
Yeah, loads of twists and turns tonight. We'll show you the results from the 10 matches this evening. Taylor started with a win, ended with a win, but he left it a little precarious for himself in the middle.
Yeah, very similar to sort of Dom Taylor early on in the day there. I think, you know, the top 2, Denny looked really, really good. Loved his interview, by the way. And Rob Collins, I don't know if he knows he's through, because as I walked through there, he wasn't in the players area. Maybe he was on some track in Wolverhampton.
Well, should we get confirmation? Should we look at the league table and all the players, if they are still there? We'll get the chance to see the top 3, and it is indeed Denny Aldercoulter, Scott Taylor and Rob Collins, who didn't have to rely on any kind of leg difference shenanigans in the end, who threw on points. But we won't talk about Dave Prince. We'll move swiftly on from that and talk about the players that are through. I'm sure you're happy to hear that, Glenn. But we'll start with Denny Aldercoulter, who was the first to get through, actually. He's ridden a bit of a midweek slump. and come good at the end.
And just what I think we needed for Saturday night as well. He's going to create a real good balance. He's got a lovely pace, cracking personality. Once again, just a lovely interview. And his darts, when he really gets that arm moving, like I said, when he's got a little bit of tension in that arm, he's definitely not the same player. But absolute credit once again to ADC Europe. I keep producing some fantastic players.
Yeah, some real clutch finishing from Alderkelter at times. Thought this double eight in particular was important last start in hand to beat Dave Prinz. And yeah, Dave Prinz, the Badger, had beaten a man tonight in all of his matches. But you just mentioned it, Rob Collins, a man who is through, and we will see him in front of a crowd with that animation and aggression that we come to know and love from him.
And I love that. Like I said, I touched on it early, and he's one of them players who needs an awful lot going through, and I think that's a new gift for me, that's for sure. But
I was going to say the many faces, Glenn, of Rob Collins, but they're all pretty similar, actually, aren't they?
Yeah, he was punching his head, slapping away, but like I said, he wasn't in the players. I was going to go and congratulate him as I went by there, but he could be somewhere.
Yeah, Scott Taylor, the other player through, of course, with that brilliant victory in his final match. Instead of seeing Scott Taylor's highlights, we're going to hear from him, and he's downstairs waiting to he's not quite there yet, Scott Taylor, so you can talk about him instead, Glenn. How about that?
Yeah, fabulous player. You asked me a question at 9:30 a.m. on Monday, who's going to win the week, and I said Scott Taylor, so I'm delighted he's through. And I think he's got one of them games as well where he can be really destructive in a finals night, and sometimes that's what you need. The round-robin phase is over now, and I just think we see different types of dart players on a Saturday night. He's been before and won a Saturday night as well. So as many players, it's going to be so exciting tomorrow. I can't wait.
Are you sticking with that tip, Scott Taylor, even though he's had that bit of a bump in the middle of the night?
That final game, once again, I mean, like I said, Scott Taylor's someone I would love to sort of sit down with, because but he showed me an awful lot about his demeanour, his attributes. I've called him lethargic and a little bit lazy at times, previous times when he's been here. But he was trying to correct those wrongs, and I see a really, really good version coming out there, and I can see him lifting that trophy tomorrow night.
I think we can have a look at the Groups 4 finals night tomorrow. We will have a look at those very, very shortly indeed. Scott Taylor joining another Taylor, Dom Taylor. Actually hearing that we are going to hear from Scott Taylor. I think he just went for a celebration. But yeah, we are going to hear from him in just a moment, and we'll get those groups confirmed for finals night as well. But it's interesting. You're tipping Scott Taylor. In fact, hold that thought. We are going to hear from him now, talking to Henry.
Are we ready for it, Henry, or not?
Yeah.
We're not exactly now, so I'm going to tell him to put it through.
Scott, many congratulations. Through to tomorrow night, but wow, it was a dramatic evening.
It was rubbish tonight. I'll definitely be preparing differently tomorrow, so I've just got to take it as it is. I got through, and that was the main game at the start, just to get through to Saturday, and that's all that matters.
As you say, it was a bit of an indifferent evening, wasn't it, from night one? What was the biggest difference from night one to night two for you?
I think it was just my double top really cost me, so I need to work on that a little bit for tomorrow. I need to play a lot better.
Going into tomorrow night's final, look, you've been here before, you know what it's like to win here before. Does that breed you confidence? And of course, you've been to another final since.
Oh yeah, definitely. I won't play as bad as that tomorrow. I hope not anyway. If I do with them, I'm in big trouble. So hopefully I won't play as bad as I did tonight.
Well, Scott, well done tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
Cheers, thanks.
Sorry.
You all right, mate? No, always. See you later.
Taylor, now, I'm going to talk about another player who wasn't in this group. We can't end the group stages this week without just having a word about Daryl Pilgrim. Yeah. Surely he's going to be the favourite. Not just the favourite with the bookies, but with what he's done this week, the crowd favourite.
He was the favourite on Monday morning, and when you have that favourite tag, sometimes it's difficult to justify. But, you know, I mean, what he gave me a real pleasure this week. I mean, it was absolutely sensational to watch, to commentate a 9-darter, to have that losing average of 118, the winning average of 122. He's had an incredible week. But what I've learned about the Modus Super Series, it starts tomorrow night again. Like I say, it feels different. The crowd's in here, feels like more of a knockout. And Daryl Pilgrim sometimes flattered to deceive on a Saturday night. That gives opportunities to others. Some big players there tomorrow, including the Scott Taylors, the Dom Taylors. Justin Smith said he's going to win it.
Yeah.
Who's going to doubt that? Fascinating night to come.
Well, it's been brewing up into a really special week, hasn't it? We saw that terrific Tuesday. Could we have something special on Saturday?
I think it's been the best week I've been involved in Motor Super C. I've really, really enjoyed it. And the competition's getting better. The competition's getting bigger. The better players are coming over from Europe. We've seen the success of the Oceanic coming over. We've had success from North America as well. It's been brilliant. But this week, it's just been extra special.
Right, let's have a proper look at Saturday night then, shall we, here at the Super Series. They are the players that are going through. Your Group A winner, Daryl Pilgrim. Group B winner, Danielle DeCoulter, going through with Scott Taylor and Rob Collins, and Dom Taylor going through with Justin Smith. Decent night.
It's a fantastic night. I mean, you've got a case for every single one of them. I mean, Rob Collins come to the party tonight. I mean, you know, Scott Taylor, we've seen how destructive he can be. Dom Taylor, I think, is just awaiting a big triumph. Justin Smith told us he's going to win, but Daryl Pilgrim is the man to beat.
Right, I was just going to try and keep you talking as long as I possibly could, Glenn, but you know what? I'll let you get some rest. I'll let you do all your prep and research for tomorrow, and you'll badger me about the badger, I'm sure.
I will be standing there tomorrow. Don't you worry. My mind's working, I know already. But yeah, a fantastic week. Don't miss tomorrow night.
Absolutely. No wins for Prince, but the field is set for finals night. We're on air at 7:30 on the Motor Super Series YouTube channel, 10 p.m. for the semi-finals and finals on Sporty Stuff TV. Don't miss it.